OpTic Texas versus Atlanta FaZe was epic. The Major 2 Grand Finals rematch was exactly what we expected it to be. Crazy back and forth battles. But ultimately, only one could come out on top. Now, without further ado, let's get into the best highlights from this series.
He gets this back 30 pretty nicely. And with the gun starting to really heat up, perfect time to see how OpTic are coming with an OpTic Gaming listening.
More. You're 1 HP. There's 2
Make sure we win there, bro. This is
on the right side.
I need it. He's back. I'm gonna play the right. I should be out. I'm post on AJ. I'm
playing the right. It could be white. I can't
get it. I'm backing up, bro. Be out, bro. I'll get Tom. Middle. Oh yeah.
I'm holding one.
I'll play the Tom.
I'm gonna clean up the back.
One middle. Alright, listen. One middle. Let me get one middle.
50 back dead.
I'm holding mid. In front of me, empty.
I'm holding mid.
I can't nade it with a trophy.
Get time. I'm holding mid too.
You keep. What do you guys want?
I'll get white.
What's up, time?
I'm it.
He's on hop up.
He's on the hop up. Mid.
I
got long.
I'm challenging
Outer.
Let's go mid.
Who's done? He might have been deep, right? That's him.
He's literally front. What's front P2?
I'm right mid.
I didn't wait a second, Ken. Front.
Go.
Out in front.
I'm posting. Brandon. Outer.
Nice. Full.
I got time.
Pushing on mid.
Guaranteed the time. I'm getting out of Brandon.
You guys guaranteed it.
I'm out. I'm all out.
Right, 1 HP. I'm 1 HP.
Push.
I'm on good through mid.
I'm on new. Yeah. Take it going. Take him in.
Yeah, we should push
P2, right?
Let's push it to the front.
I got time.
All you do.
They found me. Can I push this?
Yeah, you can.
We should go on the back there.
We know he's good.
Actually, I think it's Give me that.
OpTic cooking, but Atlanta on rotation as we swap over to a FaZe listening.
I'm getting the white. I'm getting the white too. On team crouching. Dog with you, in the all pitching, guys.
The back. One shot in the back.
Hop up.
Cat subs. So top white.
Top white.
I don't see him top white. Kenny, I mean, that.
Nice. Off.
No, one top. One shot. See, top still. Top on you.
Nice. She look on me. IVF. I'm
Nice, good time.
IVF, guaranteed. Hold up.
I hear you.
IVF. Whole bench.
We're rotating it too.
IVF.
We're pitching.
What's he play for that guy? He read.
We didn't flip either.
I'm on the deep, Jack. I'm deep.
Here.
I'll see the I'm gonna go open, okay? But Brandon, our teammate.
I think so.
One's wood or one's lights. And then there's like
what's up? Lights? That's not P3 in time. I'm going open.
I'm trying to
Try slide.
I'm starting.
I'll team crack.
And take it.
One jump down.
And take 1 point.
Brandon, outer weak. Outer wooden point.
In the water.
And
the water.
Yeah, in the water. Oh, this is our left. How many iron ups? Stairs. Yeah.
I'm
trying to stun in.
I'm nice.
Our curve, Kenny.
He's in the water behind me. He's on our side water.
Our side water.
Our curve, watch out.
Our water stuff. I'm in mid. I already went our side water. I'm sitting mid. Just slow play. RP2. Open Brandon. Listen, he's close right. Open Brandon. Watch our pinch. Nice.
Horrible stairs. Challenge.
Whole time and then probably pinch.
I pinch.
I don't think they're
I spawned out, guys. I flipped.
Oh, what a great string of hills from OpTic, and Shotzzy's pretty much turned into Aquaman. The guy's got skills. Always had that clutch gene, but you had to find a couple kills, and OpTic Texas are finding everyone in the feed. Yeah, absolutely perfectly set up over the top of this bar. Just don't scam it. You should walk away with map 1-1, I think is probably what the comm should be, but the SMGs for Atlanta coming up right when they're needed most. Kenny not able to find the double, and hold on a second. We've got a rotation likely underway here as OpTic is trying to play the long route through pool, and this time it's Simp the Aquaman under the bottom of the pool, but it doesn't make a difference. The kills are good, and now OpTic have themselves set up for what will likely be spawns. It's just selling them in their way, and if they find this kill, they likely walk away with the map 1 win. Don't even need it, apparently.
Yeah, that's going to be the game, man. OpTic Texas coming out and turning the page on game 1s versus Atlanta FaZe. That's now 2-4 on the season. But on the back of Dashy, who just started to take over at that P3, he goes on a 7 spree, earns himself a cruise missile, able to keep P4 a little bit scrappy. But then when you get over towards P5, Atlanta are going to be the team early on the attacking side. No trophy systems to work with, but look at how aggressive OpTic are, more specifically Shotzzy, already in the spawn.
And this should be a freebie for sure. Cell's going to be completely caught off guard by this. It's just a question of can Simp provide the trade in time. And oh, the trigger discipline is perfect. Simp tries to avoid it, but it's inevitable. 2 for Shotzzy, and with that, the round has just completely gone awry for Atlanta.
Yeah, that one's done and dusted. First 15 seconds into the round, he's already bottom pit working behind enemy lines, and he's able to use the trigger discipline to the full effect. So he finds a double to start that one off, but he finds an opening. He's going to take full advantage of it, and he finds one there to secure the round.
Oh, and here we go again. Shotzzy already forward over towards A. Stun checks him out. Doesn't make a difference. Avoids the majority of the gunfight versus aBeZy. And that leads to a smoke, giving him a little bit of extra cover. Selling him backside windows can really not do much here. And maybe you look to Draza. He may have to like pop up and find somebody backside blue to even get this defense going. And Shotzzy continues to keep the throttle down. 4-0 start.
Another 4v2 instantly on the back of Shotzzy. Left up to Sip and Draza. Sip is able to take down one, but now it's Draza left in the 1v3. Bomb is yet to be planted, but positioning now known. And OpTic Texas, 2 really quick rounds to start off this high-rise search and destroy. More on just 9 before Draza does take down Kenny, but now it's a 2v3.
Oh, maybe a little bit of overheating here, though, from OpTic, getting caught just a touch in what was a 4v2. Now down to the 2v2, and Draza continues to collect, so now it's just on to Shotzzy for the 1v2 situation. Good read onto aBeZy, but it's mutual. And wow, the shots response from aBeZy works out great, and maybe a missed round opportunity right there after the unfortunate team kill from Atlanta.
It's definitely a missed round right there out of OpTic, because you get a free first blood on the back of Celium, and then you also put yourself in the 3v2 advantage over towards B Street, but you cannot locate where aBeZy is. You cannot locate where Draza was. Able to clutch up into 2v3 to finally put Atlanta FaZe on the board. 45 seconds left. OpTic have full B Street control. You might just want to go for this bomb plant.
Kenny pushed back. Is your bomb carrier. Dashy also tagged. So information here from Atlanta's perspective on where these 2 OpTic attackers are. Does Dashy get a look down to the left on Draza, running up and under him? Not quite enough to keep his teammates safe. So this would give him a 1v2. aBeZy. Oh, he's read it so darn well, but the pistol's better from Dashy. Oh, mercy. A steal away round from OpTic.
He's sick and tired of everybody talking about I struggle versus Atlanta FaZe. This guy is just an unbelievable talent. I actually recently just checked out Dashy's settings on YouTube. Just put out a video for all the settings when you talk about the killings. But we got to take a replay again at what shots he was able to do. 48 HP. Somehow, some way, is able to find a kill. That's just a play that you don't expect anyone to make. No. But he somehow, some way is able to get it done.
2 players on one side, Simp on the other, but Shotzzy's got a pretty good read of this, and Atlanta's aware of it. They back off, and they're going to need to reset their defense.
Yeah, now Shotzzy's just going to take a lot of ground because he knows that they have to exit from bottom pit somewhere. He's able to find the first blood, sets up Pred for the second. Now it's instantly a 4v2. You can potentially start working this bomb plant, but who needs a bomb plant when you're shooting like this? All 4 in the feed. 2 from Pred, 2 from Shotzzy. OpTic, 4-2 now.
That's just a brilliant micro moment to highlight. You get the info and you immediately read and react to it.
Yep.
You know, like you said, 2 players down low. I don't know if they get information that a 3rd is down there, but it doesn't matter. Draza's completely caught off towards the elevators. No chance for retreat as of yet, and then Pred pops up through the jump window to find a second. Good response, though, from Atlanta. They're able to collect at least a couple just to make sure this thing gets back to a 2v2. Bomb is also in a very collectible spot, so everything gets reset, and Kenny gets caught topside heli. Now a numbers advantage to FaZe.
Now it's Dashy left in the 1v2. He was at least able to spot Celium, but potentially going to be more focused on potentially shutting down this bomb plant. But Atlanta FaZe again in a situation where they are playing the kill. They are waiting to the final moment before they decide to work that objective, and this might work out perfectly for Dashy because that time is starting to tick.
It just comes down to does he even check over the top over towards B? Because if they get this planted and they get away, it's a tough retake to go through. But there's the ankle. Nice shots from Dashy. 1v1 with Celium. First shots are good, but the follow-up maybe a bit hindered by the railing. Cell responds, and a massive bounce back after being down to a 2v3 initially for FaZe.
Oh, that's a big clutch round right there for Atlanta. Shotzzy versus Dashy. We always love the AR battles between those 2 young men. Some of the best shots that we have in Call of Duty, but it's Celium able to get the better of him this time around.
To full HP. Onus onto Simp to what he wants to do. Does he want to play for the kill, play for the plant? Smoke just kind of draws the attention of Pred, and in this moment,
Simp gets all the way backside A and is going to try to commit to the plant. Does Pred bother to check this? Doesn't seem to. Also not going to catch him on the exit, Jay. Things reset here, 1v1.
Yeah, this is tough now because you have no info and the bomb's down at A, so where you have so many different angles you can check it from if you are Simp. But Pred's thinking right now, he has to try to be working behind enemy lines, but you get the info now. How does he decide to play it? He's just going to stick to defuse.
Does Simp check this? Does he have the angle this time around? He gets the 3/4 of the way, and then the shots come through to connect. Pred, it's the right read, it's the right call, but Simp just a little bit too quick on the rewrap, able to find the toes.
You know it's only a matter of moments before Simp comes alive in search to destroy. He was sitting at 1 and 5, now 6 and 6. Finds himself on 3 or 4 in a row, but a big one-on-one to put his team now at game point.
Yeah, I like the call. But what do they call to try to get the bomb down? I think it's the bigger question here. Pred Dashy playing over towards the blue side. Abizi looking to get aggressive, steps forward. And I don't think Dashy's seen it. Nope, he hasn't. Pred gets caught looking the opposite direction. And first blood once again collected by Atlanta, and they're going to back off and just play this thing straight up 4v3.
Yeah, this is perfect. You don't want to try to get too overzealous, potentially get picked off, but Simp is able to take down Shotzzy instantly a 4v2. Bomb still slowly working his way up through the B street, but Dash and Kenny have their hands full with only 15 seconds to try to clutch this one up.
Yeah, it's just Atlanta's ability to find first blood is only part of the problem. Their ability to play down a man is ridiculous.
Yep.
Dashy, maybe the barrel of the gun being seen. Yep, sure seems that way. BZ finds the kill very quickly as soon as that information was processed. And it's just on to Kenny, who gets some decent shots into one, but no chance for the follow-up. And I mean, give me a break, dude. I imagine to play with, depending on what the situation calls for. And Dashy continues to just lock things down over towards the A side of the map. So this is all about what can Shotzzy do in terms of trying to get together a bit of a spawn trap. And he's made his way at least down to bottom pit. Abizi at range also dealt with it. It's Shotzzy on 5.
And this is perfect plays from OpTic Texas. You can tell that the practice as are working out to perfection. They usually struggle when you talk about the slaying column on the defensive end. But Shotzzy finds himself on 7 in a row. Just trying to be the playmaker again for this OpTic squad. Already a cruise missile in the back pocket.
Yikes.
He doesn't plan on slowing down. All the kills in the feed for OpTic. Atlanta FaZe forced to hit the reset in the back of their spawn. And that just might be it. OpTic Texas dominant on this defense.
I mean, at one point, this was a 19-17 in favor of FaZe. And now it's 12-5. And Shotzzy is threatening for a double-digit streak. An absolute takeover here on the round 1 defense. Draza just not quite. Doesn't make much of a difference. The cruise missile already earned an OpTic build, a convincing A defense, and a huge life margin lead.
And that's how you get it done, man. You only allowed 3 segments to go to in favor to Atlanta FaZe, but Shotzzy just absolutely dominates with his movement. 30 seconds before you even have an opportunity to work your way on out. But they are just trading so damn well around Helipad, around B Street, forcing OpTic Texas to use reinforcements on one side of the map more than they want to. And at least Kenny now with the route. He's going to find an opening through bottom pit. Pred finds the first blood, and this might be an opportunity for OpTic Texas to get on that game, get on that A point.
Oh, Simp comes back over through the previously captured B zone and deals with Kenny, but Shotzi's going to sneak around the back again. And Atlanta have no idea that he's making this play. Small moments of hesitation here from FaZe, but they are not going to have the luxury of staying back for too long because here comes the from OpTic from the front. Clean kills all across the board. Beezy, last one standing, and he gets dealt with. So the clock will pause at 50 seconds. Shotzzy getting shots through walls, kills from what feels like through 5 walls, and Kenny's right there on the cross to make sure Atlanta can't get out of spawn. A convincing moment here for OpTic.
Oh yeah, that's already the second segment going to be done. You better try to hit some nades, some stuns to try to take him off at this point. But Dashy with the beams through the middle of the map is able to find a double. None other than Shotzzy to find the third. Shotzzy with the double of his own. Finds himself on 5 in a row and again. As that third segment is about to be complete, but even if it's not, 12-6 in lives remaining, we could play TDM.
40 seconds on the clock though. Atlanta battling back. Small moment there where Shotzzy maybe could have stayed on the zone a little bit longer, maybe finish it off himself, but instead played forward for the kill. And now all of a sudden half of that third tick has been depleted. 10v4, 25 seconds on the clock. Draws is still holding on to bottom blue. Does Atlanta still have this in them? Here comes the stack though over towards the point. Shotzi's on for the first. Atlanta need to go. They need to find a way to get them off. Couple back and forths, but the kills are good for FaZe. Now it's just down to only one more member forward. Pred is the last player over towards bottom blue, and he's been seen by Cell. Atlanta continue to find the kills. Have they missed a moment here if you're OpTic? Last chance to try to break your way in, and Atlanta continue to reap in the kill feed. Kenny has to jump off the top. He's not able to, and FaZe is going to hold on to the round.
Trade efficiently. 2-2 in the feed for both squads. But it's still OpTic Texas in the lives remaining, up by a couple. Pred finding that double at least relieves the pressure on the farthest players pushed out. And now Atlanta FaZe again forced to hit the reset. OpTic just doing a great job of holding down all their lanes.
Yeah, now Shotzzy has the freedom to get forward. And I mean, look at the movement. Nearly slips away. It's enough for at least Kenny to confirm his trade, which is more than enough, to say the least. 12v4. Tick progression is going to heavily favor OpTic as they look to lock up the rest of this defense, and there's really no chance Atlanta does much more damage than maybe a couple of kills here or there. So major advantage for OpTic through 3 rounds. Lots of a call here for Atlanta defensively to really stand tall if they're going to try to even out. They're finding good support at this moment. First tick of progress being worked on. Cell able to track a couple of the shadows, but it doesn't make a difference. Now the stack is on, and OpTic should be able to get at least 2 ticks here.
Yeah, the second segment is going to guarantee themselves defense just in case it does go to round number 5, but it's still OpTic Texas in the lead of the lives remaining. They're still not slowing down in the slaying department. That's another 3 dead in the feed. You can easily hit that transition over. But with Pred being the player coming off the respawn, that cruise missile is not going to get invested early on. So you have to try to maintain map control before you decide to invest that missile.
It may not be invested at all because now a second gets tallied for Shotzzy on another impressive streak. It gets to 7 before he's felled. Pred once again taking the scaffold route. Celium going to try to check this. Simp at range. Almost dealt with before
segment. Now you have a cruise missile on the defensive end just to work with in case anything gets a little bit fishy. But you don't want to give Atlanta FaZe a cruise missile here to potentially find a success on the attack.
Yeah, it should be 2 in favor of OpTic. 2 cruises they could possibly use here. But like you said, Draza now 1 off. Not going to have a chance to find kill number 6, but coming out of spawn, that's been the problem for Atlanta to this point in this map. Finding a way to even get trades, let alone kills. So we'll see. That could be a key for FaZe to get an extra resource and try to mitigate what's already been built up and kind of stack the deck for this OpTic. Eventually they get the kill. Draza on the other zone, able to get just enough help for the extra 60 to get tallied, and now FaZe have a 4 life lead and a minute 15 to play with.
This is where it gets scary because if you're OpTic Texas, you got to try to invest this cruise now. And that's exactly what Pred is going to do, but do not read the play out of Draza working his way underground on the deep pinch. That second segment is going to be complete. You're able to take Atlanta FaZe off for a little bit, but the triple stack is here.
Can they get here to touch in time? The contest is over. Cell, 1v3 situation denied. Now down to Draza versus Dashy. Oh, what a save. Not done yet, though. No more respawns for OpTic. 4v8 situation. Third tick of progress fully depleted. OpTic cleanly get out of spawn and also clear BZ off the high ground, and Atlanta are going to take their time and try to reset.
But OpTic Texas so far maintaining a lot of the map control. They're also finding all the kills. Was a 4v8, is now a 3v5. We've seen them clutch up 3v11s. Can they try to clutch up this one? No more respawns now for Atlanta.
Everyone's playing on an island if you're OpTic. Can you catch this Atlanta offense a bit by surprise? Pred seems to say yes, and what a light up he's had in these last 2 rounds. Pistol nearly locks on in time, but the 3v2, 23 seconds on the clock. Shotzzy sniffing pixels, sees both. Just comes down to when does he want to pop up. It's him versus the world in this 1v3. First one tallied cleanly, pistol out, wants a BZ at range, slips around, but they're on the zone. Both players are there. Shotzzy doesn't have a lot of time, also doesn't have a lot of ammunition, needs to clear off the zone. He gets on for the contest and only finds the first. Atlanta find the final kill and take away the round 5 offense to steal away the control.
Oh man, if you're Atlanta FaZe, you're feeling great, but if you're OpTic Texas, that's 2 maps in a row now.
There's just not enough eliminations coming through here for OpTic to stall out this roto from Atlanta FaZe. And finally, a couple of trades are back and forth, but Draza, last one standing, can't make the pistol go his way. Simp trying to follow up off of it. Does he get both? Doesn't need to. It's a BZ behind, and Atlanta will open up the hardpoint.
This is getting nasty, Allen. Atlanta FaZe, even when they're late off the rotation, they're finding brick early on into this HP. And now you're continuously putting OpTic on the back foot. And now trying to bake again with only 30 seconds left. You can't hit the rotation now. You have to try to fight this time, and Sip is making you pay time and time again. 12 and 8 already to start this one off. The trade is going to be there for Draza, but Atlanta FaZe with this final 20 are going to find themselves already up by 100. OpTic Texas, a long road ahead. They're slowly starting to climb their way back to this game. They needed a response at the Bridge Hill, but you're still down by 60. A lot more that you have to cover. It has to be the rotation over towards P1, and right now they have a lot of mid-map control, especially over towards Bridge.
Draza gets the trophy system down. Support from Simp wasn't enough, but it may not matter. Draza now on 18 and 8, 4 in a row again. Abizi there to help with the team shots on to Pred, and Atlanta will hold the numbers right on top of the hard point with Draza finding kill number 5. He's gonna get an isolated 1v1 potentially, bottom side P5. He's got to read that Kenny's nearby. This is for the cruise missile. A pivotal one, but Pred beats him to the punch, and at least some of the wound gets cauterized, but Texas still have work to do to clear out the hard point, which they do in a fell swoop.
Yeah, Draza's still showing why he
spawns, if not maybe win them for Atlanta. Draza off the pinch, nearly takes down 2 of his own. OpTic still hanging around though. A long route here from FaZe isn't even enough for them to guarantee spawn, so now OpTic have the numbers over the hot dog card, and that's enough for Kenny to win the gunfight and give OpTic another lease on life.
Yeah, and they need this 40 to get back into this game. They were able to flip the spawns as well, so Atlanta FaZe are at least going to do a great job of investing those tacks over the top, try to take them over this time as much as they possibly could, but you can already see the route coming in from Shotzzy. Just taking the step ahead, re-wrapping through boxes, and potentially is going to spawn Atlanta FaZe out. No, they're still going to spawn it towards the back, so you still have read on it to perfection. Where were they down 100? Now it's only a 20-point difference. Shotzzy now finds himself on 5 in a row. All the kill feed is going to be green, and now OpTic Texas winning the rotation fights again, this time over towards P4.
2 to 3 is good. Can 3 to 4 also be collected? Atlanta not so fast, they say. Clean shots coming out, plus the stun locks Shotzzy in place. Dashy still a little bit of a scuffle with Celium over the last 3 seconds, which he wins, but Atlanta will get onto the hard point initially. Spawn out for Celium deep over towards the backside at P2. Here come OpTic, knowing they've got an advantage and an opportunity to try to break this hard point open, but the kills just simply put are not there. Kenny has to keep his head in a swivel, just trying to predict which angle Sip's gonna chail him on, and he picks wrong. Atlanta will win the rotation. Map hasn't had a particularly great game to this point in the kill feed, but this could be a big one, and okay, that's a little bit of extra clearance here for Atlanta. They're gonna get past the 200-point mark.
And they can win it here at the Bridge Hill, but you're not expecting them to walk away with the full 50 seconds on this hill. So if you're OpTic Texas, you just have to find a way on in. That's your tax off the spawn, blow up those trophy systems, and try to take somewhat control of the bridge. But it's Kenny finding a triple. Abizi, last player up, simply has to play his life to give his team another opportunity to find a break.
OpTic on the chase, it's Pred. Right back through mid, collects the kill. It's a huge staggered respawn as well. OpTic could surely get past the 200-point mark. Kenny just trying to hold on to this pillar for dear life. Dashy, Pred helping over the top of this hard point. And a chance not just for OpTic to take the lead. They could also win this rotation. Abizi trying to meet them right over the top of P1. This guy's a little bit of an awkward mantle over the bench. And Simp also dealt with. Here we go. OpTic's going to finalize the scrap and move right on in towards P1.
And they're going to be fully set up as well. Every single player from OpTic Texas is currently sitting around the middle of the map. The lead change is finally going to come in. OpTic Texas had 2 demoralizing maps, but they are not worried about it. They're trying to force this game number 5. And Pred with the snap is able to find himself on 2 in a row. But here comes the pitch from Simp. Always somehow, someway finds the timing, finds 3 in a row. Atlanta FaZe get the break.
They've got the numbers. Cell is watching to the outside just to make sure no one hits the OE, which OpTic seem like they're trying to do. So tall moment here. OpTic need to find a way to break on in. They deal with Celium very quickly. Simp looking to get forward. Denied over the top of the staircase. Now OpTic with numbers. Team nade comes out from Abizi. Should surely be a break plus more. Atlanta will still spawn on the right side of the map, which is preferred with 3 of their 4 members, but Shotzzy, another massive opportunity for him to foil the setup of FaZe by himself, tucked in a corner by Gate, which Draza gets the read on. OpTic can't win here. Atlanta are set up for new.
And that's a perfect rotation because Celium was able to catch a double off the back end of everyone from OpTic Texas trying to hit the overextension, but it's 241 to 241. OpTic have a couple plays to the back end. Atlanta FaZe get a read on it. They only need 5 to close out this series.
Got a touch. Shotzzy from one side, Pred from the other. There goes the clearance around the hard point. They need to... Oh! And they can't find the kill. Cell steps up through ramp. finds the initial damage and the finish on the last member of OpTic in the hopes of OpTic Texas to send this to a